Very good. Okay. Ajnana timidandhasya jnananjana salakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Rathikai Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. So continuing with Mahabharata, section 27, Dyuta Parva. This section has 334 shlokas and 23 chapters. Dyuta means playing or gambling with dice, and also the resultant prize. So this section is about the gambling with dice. So chapter 268, chapter 43 of Shabha Parva. Vaishampayana said, Duryodhana, bull among the Bharata lineage, lived in that Shabha with Shakuni. He slowly inspected the entire Shabha. There, the descendant of the Kuru lineage saw many divine designs that had never seen before in the city of Nagasarya, Hastinapur. One day, Dhritarashtra's son, the lord of the earth, arrived at his place in the middle of the Sabha that was paved with crystal. The king thought it to be water, and in alarm raised up his clothes. His mind deluded, he wandered around the Shabha, shamefaced and miserable. After some time, he mistook a lake with crystal water adorned with crystal lotuses for land and fell into the water with his clothes on. Seeing him fall into the water, the servants laughed out in delight and on the instruction of the king gave him fresh clothes. On seeing him in that fashion, the immensely strong Bhimasena and Arjuna and the twins all burst out in laughter. Since it was incapable of bearing, he was incapable of bearing insults, he could not tolerate this. To save his face, he did not even look at them. He again drew up his clothes to ascend from land, and all the people again laughed out aloud. He mistook a closed door to be open and hurt his forehead against it. On another occasion, taking an open one to be closed, he stepped away from the doorway. O Lord of the earth, he thus committed various errors there. Having taken Pandavya's leave, the King Duryodhana set out for Gajasarya, Hastinapur. On having witnessed the extraordinary opulence at the great Rajasuya sacrifice, his mind was unhappy. As he travelled, he was inflamed at the prosperity of the Pandavas, and evil thoughts were seeded in King Duryodhana's mind. O extender of the Kuru lineage, on seeing the happiness of the Parthas, the submission of the kings, the love of the worlds had for them, from children onwards, and the supreme splendour of the great-souled Pandavas, Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana turned pale. As he travelled, he thought intently about the Shabha and the unrivalled prosperity of the intelligent Dharmaraja. Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana was so inattentive that he did not respond when Subala's son repeatedly spoke to him, that's Sakuni. On seeing him so distracted, Sakuni responded, "Oh, Duryodhana, why are you travelling with all these sighs?" Duryodhana replied, "Oh, maternal uncle, I saw the entire earth brought under Yudhishthira's suzerainty, conquered with the power and weapons of the great-souled one with white horses, Arjuna. I witnessed the sacrifice of Partha like that of the immensely radiant Shakra among the gods." I am full of envy and am burning day and night. I am drying up like a shallow pond in the hot season. Witness, when Shishupala was felled by the foremost of the Satvatas, there wasn't a single man who stood by his side. The kings were burnt with the flames of the Pandavas and pardoned the crime. Who can pardon that crime? Vasudeva's great deed was improper and succeeded only because of the power of the great-souled Pandavas. Various kings brought many jewels to King Kaunteya and worshipped him like Vaishyas who pay taxes. On seeing the blazing prosperity of the Pandavas, I am afflicted with jealousy and am burning, though I am not made that way. I will throw myself into the fire, or consume poison, or immerse myself in water. I cannot bear to be alive. What true man in the world has the fortitude to see his rivals prosper while his own self is in decline? If today I bore the prosperity that had befallen them, I would not be a woman, or one who is not a woman, or a man, or one who is not a man. On witnessing their lordship over the earth, the likes of their riches and the likes of their sacrifice, how can a man like me not be feverish? Alone, I am not capable of acquiring royal prosperity, nor do I see any help. Therefore, I am thinking of death. On seeing the pure prosperity of Kunti's son, I consider destiny to be supreme and endeavor to be meaningless. O Sobala, in the past I have made attempts to kill them, but he overcame all of them and prospered like a lotus in the water. Therefore, I consider destiny to be supreme and endeavor to be meaningless. The Dhritarashtras are declining and the Parthas are always prospering. When I see their prosperity and that beautiful Shabha with the derisive laughter of the gods, I burn as if with fire. O maternal uncle, please allow me now to suffer in misery and tell Dhritarashtra about the envy that has pervaded me. 269. Sakuni said, "Oh, Duryodhana, you should not feel any jealousy towards Yudhishthira because the Pandavas have always benefited from their good fortune. In the past, you have tried to kill them with many means, but those tigers among men escaped because of their good fortune. They obtained Draupadi as a wife, and Drupada and his two sons as allies, and the valorous Vasudeva as an ally in winning the earth. O Lord of the earth, they obtained an undiminished share of paternal wealth and extended it through their own energy. What is there to lament in this? Having satisfied the fire, Dhananjaya obtained the great bow Gandiva, two inexhaustible quivers and other celestial weapons. He subdued the lords of the earth with that foremost among bows and the valour of his own arms. What is there to lament in this? He freed the Danava Maya from being burnt by the fire. Savyasati, the scorcher of enemies, then made him build that Shabha. On Maya's command, the terrible Rakshasas named Kinkaras guard that Shabha. What is there to lament in this? O king, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, you have said that you have no allies. That is not true, because your Mahabharata brothers are always there to help you. The mighty archer Drona with his intelligent son Ashwatthama, Radheya, the son of Asuta, the Maharata Gautama, I and my brothers and the valorous Somadatti are with you. With these allies, conquer the entire world. Duryodhana replied, O king, if you permit, I will defeat them with you and the other Maharatas. When I have conquered them, the entire earth will be mine, and all the lords of the earth and the Shabha with its great riches. Sakuni said, with the use of force, the masses of clouds cannot defeat in battle Dhananjaya, Vasudeva, Bhimasena, Yudhishthira, Nakula, Sahadeva, and Drupada and his son. They are Maharatas, great archers, skilled in the use of weapons and invincible in battle. O king, but I know the means through which Yudhishthira himself can be conquered. Listen and act accordingly. Duryodhana replied, O maternal uncle, if there is any way to defeat them without any danger to our well-wishers and other great-souled ones, please tell me. Sakuni said, Kunti's son loves to gamble with dice, but he does not know how to play. If challenged to play, that Indra among kings will not be able to refuse. I am skilled in gambling with dice. There is no one on earth or in the three worlds who is my equal. Challenge Kunti's son to a game of dice. O king, O bull among men, with my skill in dice, there is no doubt that I will win for you the kingdom and the blazing prosperity. O Duryodhana, tell the king all this, his father, and if your father permits, there is no doubt that I will vanquish him. Duryodhana replied, O Sobala, you yourself say all this to Dhritarashtra, foremost among the Kurus, in the proper way. I will not be able to do it. 270. Vaishampayana said, O king, having experienced the great Rajasuya sacrifice of King Yudhishthira, wishing to do well to Duryodhana, and having already heard Duryodhana's words about what he desired, Sobala Sakuni went to Dhritarashtra with Gandhari's son, Duryodhana. The Lord of the earth was wise, though he was without sight, and he was seated. Approaching the immensely intelligent one, Sakuni uttered these words, O great king, O bull among the Bharata lineage, Duryodhana is pale, yellow, and thin. Notice that he is miserable and is always worrying. Why do you not examine and determine the exact reasons why your eldest son is so miserable with a grief that can only result from an enemy? Dhritarashtra asked, O Duryodhana, O son, what is the reason for your great grief? O son of the Kuru lineage, if it is something that I can hear, please tell me. This Sakuni tells me that you are pale, yellow, and thin, and that you are worrying. I do not see any reason for your grief. O son, all my great riches are given to you. Your brothers and well-wishers never act so as to cause you displeasure. You wear the best of garments. You eat food laced with meat. You ride thoroughbred horses. Why are you then yellow and thin? Expensive beds, beautiful women, houses with all the qualities, and pleasure grounds are there for your happiness. As with the gods, there is no doubt that all these await your command. O invincible one, O son, why do you then grieve like a miserable one? Duryodhana replied, like any miserable man, I do eat and dress, but I tolerate the passing of time because I bear a terrible envy. He is truly a man who vanquishes his enemies and liberates his own subjects from the oppression of that enemy. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, satisfaction and pride destroy prosperity. So do compassion and fear. Immersed in these, no one achieves greatness. Having witnessed Kaunteya Yudhishthira's blazing prosperity, I no longer find pleasure, and that is what turns me pale. It is true that the prosperity of Kunti's son is invisible to me now, but I see the prosperity of my enemies and my own destruction as if before me now. It is for this reason that I have become pale, miserable, yellow, and thin. Yudhishthira supports 88,000 Snataka householders, and each of them has 30 servant maidens. Besides this, 10,000 others always eat the best food in Yudhishthira's house, served on golden plates. The king of Cambodia sends him black, dark, and red skins of the cuddly deer, expensive blankets, chariots, women, and cattle and horses in hundreds and thousands. 100 she-camels roam there 300 times. O Lord of earth, the kings brought divers riches in great numbers to that foremost of sacrifices undertaken by Kunti's son. I have never seen or heard of such an inflow of wealth as I saw at the sacrifice of the intelligent son of Pandu. O King, O Lord, I cannot be at peace and continuously worry because I have seen that limitless flood of riches of my enemy. Vatadhana Brahmins, possessing the wealth of cattle, stood at the gate in groups of 100. They brought 3 carvers of riches as tribute, but were turned back. When they brought beautiful golden kamandalus and filled with these with tribute, it was then that they were allowed entry. In Varuna's brass pots, the ocean brought him ambrosia. That was better than the one brought for Shakra by the wives of the immortals. There was 1,000 of them, adorned with many jewels and golden. O bull among the Bharata lineage, on seeing all this, I felt as if afflicted with fever. They obtained these by going to the oceans of the east and the south. They had also gone to the west, but no one can go to the north except the birds. Listen to me as I describe an extraordinary incident there. Whenever 100,000 Brahmins had to be fed, it was arranged there that a signal would always be given through the blowing of conch shells. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, I continuously heard the repeated blowing of conch shells. On hearing these great sounds, my hair stood on end. O Lord of men, many kings crowded the palace as spectators. O great king, those kings brought all kinds of riches with them when they came to the sacrifice of the intelligent son of Pandu. Like Vaishyas, the lords of the earth became servers to the Brahmanas. O king, the king of the gods, Yama, Varuna, or the lord of the Guhyakas, Kubera, does not possess riches equal to Yudhishthira's wealth. Ever since I have witnessed the overwhelming prosperity of Pandu's son, my heart has been burning and I can find no peace. Sakuni said, O you whose valor is in truth, listen to the means whereby you can obtain the unmatched prosperity that you have seen with the Pandava. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, I am skilled in playing with dice, supreme on earth. I know their heart. I know how to stake. I know the special art. Though Kaunteya loves dice, he has no knowledge. If challenged, he will certainly come. I will challenge him. Vaishampayana said, having been thus addressed by Shakuni, King Duryodhana then instantly addressed these words to Dhritarashtra. O king, this one is skilled in dice. Through dice he will win the wealth of Pandu's sons. Please grant him permission. Dhritarashtra replied, I always follow the counsel of my immensely wise adviser, Kshatta, Vidura. I will consult with him and then decide on the course of action. He places Dharma in the forefront, has foresight, and has our supreme welfare in mind. He will look at both sides and tell us certainly what should be done. Duryodhana said, If you ask Kshatriya, he will restrain you, O king among kings. And if you are restrained, I will certainly kill myself. O king, when I am dead, may you find happiness with Vidura. Enjoy the whole earth. What do you have to do with me? Dhritarashtra heard those painful words, though they were affectionately uttered. Submitting to Duryodhana's desire, he instructed his servants. Let artisans immediately build for me a beautiful and large Shabha, with 1,000 pillars and 100 doors, which is fit to be seen. When it is scattered with gems and dice everywhere, quietly come and report to me that it has been built well and that it is fit to be entered. O great king, in an attempt to pacify Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra, lord of the earth, summoned Vidura, because he never took a decision without asking Vidura. Knowing the evils of gambling, he was still attracted towards it because of affection towards his son. Having heard this, the intelligent Vidura knew that the door to Kali was nigh. On seeing that the path to destruction was about to be opened, he quickly came to Dhritarashtra. The brother came to the great souled elder brother, and bowing down, with his head touching the other's feet, uttered these words: O king, O lord, I do not approve of the decision you have taken. You should act in such a way that discord does not arise among your sons because of this gambling. Dhritarashtra replied, O Kshatriya, if the gods in heaven show us their favour, there is no doubt that there will be no quarrel between my sons and my other sons. Auspicious or not auspicious, benign or malign, let this gambling match between relatives occur, as it is certainly destined. When I and Bhishma, bull among the Bharata lineage, are there, no evil can possibly occur, even if fate has decreed it. Immediately ascend a chariot that is yoked with steeds and with the speed of the wind. Go to Kandavaprastha and bring Yudhishthira. O Vidura, I tell you that there will be no going back on my decision. I think it is supreme destiny that has led to this. Having heard this, the intelligent Vidura thought that this should not be. Extremely unhappy, he went to the immensely wise son of the river. Who's that?
Bhishma.
So anyone else want to take over from that? Where's Mathura? He's gone off. Mathura! Oh, Mathura, where are you?
Let me sort my light out.
Oh, there you are.
Sorry. Yeah. I was here. I just had it on mute. That
Right.
light at the back's a bit too bright, isn't it? I'm going to take that off.
You want to read now, Mathura?
Yes, I am. I told you.
Okay. So it's 271 page.
I know. I've got it.
You've got it. Very good.
I've got it.
It's great, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, so there we go.
Just like when Duryodhana.
Can you hear me?
Don't ask Vidura. Oh my God. Don't ask
Yeah.
Vidura. He's not going to agree.
Yeah. God.
Kshatriya.
Archidura.
Oh, sorry, I've got a bit of technology to do here. Lighting. Shit, man.
So just a quick note, that's in gambling, that's where Kali is found. That's the origin of the four regs, isn't it?
Well,
about where Kali is found. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. He realized it was an open door to Kali, the evil spirit of contention. Because it wasn't yet Kali Yuga, it was on the cusp.
Yeah.
So now Kali could enter through this device. Yes, great, man. So great. It's psychological, There's so much psychology there, isn't there? You can understand the inner workings of Duryodhana's mind. He's just a rotter,
Total.
All right, take it away, Mathura. I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. 271. page 194, the Mahabharata Dyuta Parva, the dice game. Janamejaya asked, how did that eventful gambling match among the brothers take place, which caused so much misery to my grandfathers, the Pandavas? O you who are immersed in the Brahman, who were the kings who were present in that Sabha? Who among them approved of the match and who did not? O Brahmana, O supreme among Brahmanas, I wish to hear all this in detail, because this was the cause of the destruction of the world. Isn't that amazing? A game of dice.
Yeah.
Not the atom bomb, the game of dice. The suitor said, having been thus addressed by the king, Vyasa's powerful student, knowledgeable in all the Vedas, recounted everything as it had happened. Vaishampayana said, O supreme among the Bharata lineage, O great king, if you wish to hear it, then listen. I will tell you in detail what happened. Knowing Vidura's views, Dhritarashtra, the son of Ambika, again privately spoke these words to Duryodhana. O Gandhari's son, forget the dice. Vidura does not approve of it. The immensely intelligent one will not speak in vain. I think that what Vidura has said is for my supreme welfare. O son, act accordingly, for I think that it will be for your welfare too. Vidura knows all the sacred texts with their mysteries that the illustrious and the wise Devarshi Brihaspati, preceptor of Vasava, taught to the intelligent kings of the gods. O son, I always follow his counsel. O king, the intelligent Vidura is considered as foremost among the Kurus, like the immensely wise Uddhava is acclaimed amongst the Vrishnis. O son, dissension brings destruction to the kingdom, so give up the idea. You have obtained what the supreme texts say are what a son should obtain from his father and mother. O son, you have obtained the rank of your father and grandfather. You have studied, you have become learned in the sacred texts. You have always been reared at home. You are the eldest among your brothers, and you have been established in the kingdom. Do you not consider this fortunate? You obtain the best of food and garments, unobtainable by other men. O mighty armed one, O son, having obtained this, why do you grieve? O mighty armed one, this great kingdom of your father and grandfather is prospering. When you rule it, you shine like the Lord of the gods in heaven. I know you to be wise, then what is the reason for this grief? Why is your misery swelling up? Tell me. Duryodhana replied, I am an evil man that I eat and dress despite what I see. I'm going to say that again. I am an evil man that I eat and dress despite what I see. It has been said that a man who does not feel envy is a wretch. O Indra among kings, O Lord, the ordinary prosperity does not please me. I am miserable on seeing the blazing prosperity of Kunti's son. The entire earth is subject to Yudhisthira's suzerainty. I am telling you that I am miserable, since I am still established here alive. The Chaitrakis, the Kalkuras, the Karavas, and the Lohajangas live in Yudhisthira's abode like prostrate slaves. The Himalayas, the oceans, the regions among the shores that produce all the gems and all others are inferior to Yudhisthira's abode. O Lord of the earth, since I was the eldest and foremost, Yudhisthira offered me homage and appointed me to the task of receiving the gems. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, of the riches that were brought here, supreme and valuable, one could not see the rear end, nor the far one. My hands were too tired to receive all those riches. When those who had brought riches from distant places had left, I was still tired. Having brought gems from Bindusharova, Maya constructed a platform of crystal, O descendant of the Bharata lineage. On seeing the place full of lotuses, I took it to be water. On seeing me draw up my clothes, Vikrodara laughed at me. He thought me to be devoid of riches and deluded by the superior wealth of the enemy. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, had I possessed the ability, I would have killed Vikrodara there. The derision of a rival burns me, O Lord of men. I again saw a similar pond full of lotuses, thinking it to be made out of crystal. I fell into the water. At this, Krishna and Partha laughed out loudly at me, and so did Draupadi and other women. This pained my heart. My garments having become wet, the servants gave me others on the king's orders, and this too made me more miserable. O Lord of men, listen when I tell you about another trick. In trying to go out through what looked like a door but wasn't a door, I hit my head against a crystal slab and got hurt. Then, on seeing this from a distance, the twins were amused. In great sorrow, they held me in their arms. Sahadev then repeatedly told me, as if amazed, "O king, this is the door. Pass this way." I saw jewels there, whose names I'd not even heard of earlier. That is the reason why my heart is burning. Wow. Really is, isn't he? It's burning. Duryodhana said, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, listened to the main treasures I saw at the Pandavas, brought by the lords of the earth from everywhere. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, on seeing those riches grown in mind, I no longer feel myself to be conscious. Cambodia gave riches in the form of skins of Edda, fine cat skins lined with gold, the best skins from D, 300 horses and with parrot-like noses that were grey and of mixed colours, and 300 she-camels fattened with palms, pulses, and nuts. All the Govasana and Dasamriya Brahmanas came to please the immensely fortunate and great-souled Dharmaraj. They brought 3 karvas of tribute, but were barred entry and stood at the gate. When they brought beautiful and golden water pots and offered their tribute in those, they were allowed entry, O king. As tribute, the Shudra kings who lived in Bharukacha brought 100,000 slave girls from the Kapasika region. They were dark and slender with long hair and adorned in golden ornaments. They also brought ranku hides fit for the best of Brahmanas and horses from the Gandhara region. The men whose crops depend on the showers of Indra, those who were born near the mouths of rivers, along with the shores and banks of oceans and rivers, the Vairavanas, the Paradas, the Vangas, and the Kitabas brought many riches and many jewels, goats, cattle, gold, donkeys, camel, honey from fruit, and different types of garments. But restrained, they stood at the door. Maharata King Bhagadatta, the brave ruler of Prajatisha and the strong ruler of the Mechas, came with Yavanas. He brought a tribute of thoroughbred horses as swift as the wind, but was barred and stood at the gate. After presenting a receptacle that was like iron and swords with handles of ivory, Bhagadatta, a Pragiyotishta, left. I saw that many people from different directions will refuse admission at the gate, though they brought rich tributes of gold and silver. With 2 eyes, 3 eyes, 1 eye on the forehead, those who wore headdresses, those who had no fixed abode, bahukas, cannibals, and those with only 1 foot. They brought horses that were swift as thought and the colours of Indragopas and parrots, or with the colours of the rainbow, or red like the evening sky. There are of many shades, and there are also seized forest horses with the speed of the mind. They also gave him rich tributes of the best quality of gold. There were Chinnas, Humas, Shakas, Udras, and those who live inside mountains, Varshneyas, Haruhunas, Dark Ones, and those who live in the Himalayas. I do not remember the order of those who were barred entry at the gate. They gave much tribute in many forms. There were tens of thousands of asses, giant in form and with black necks. They were famous everywhere and trained well, capable of killing hundreds. There were large and colourful garments, pleasant to the touch, from Balika and China. There was wool, rankul, hide, silk, jute, cotton, and thousands of other garments. They had the colours of lotuses and were soft, though not made of cotton. There were hides, there were long and sharp swords, double-edged swords, spears, battle axes, and hundreds of battle axes from other side of the ocean. They brought juices, fragrances, and many jewels in thousands, but despite the tribute, they were barred entry and stood at the gates. Shakas, Tukuras, Kankas, Romashas, and men with horns brought as tribute 100 million horses that could travel great and long distances. Woo! With crores of tributes of many kinds and unlimited gold, they stood at the door and were barred entry. Expensive seats, vehicles, beds, and many kinds of chariots adorned with gems and gold, made of ivory and decorated with gold, well-trained horses, covered with tiger skins, many kinds of cushions, thousands of gems, narachas, half narachas, many kinds of weapons. This was the great tribute paid by the king from the east when he entered the great souled Pandava's sacrificial arena. Wow. Do you want to read Kanai?
If you're offering now, if you
Yeah.
want to stop.
No, I'd like to. I'm not, I don't want to say I'm tired of reading, but I am.
Okay,
It takes a lot of,
sure.
I like to hear as well. So please.
Yes. Where were we? Because I was just
So it's
listening there.
page 199,
Yeah.
27348. Duryodhana said.
So what's he describing? He's describing more prosperity of other kings that he's envious of. Is that what's going on here?
I was trying to understand what it even meant by what they were barred and they didn't come in. I was trying to
Let's
understand.
have where's Panditji? Maybe we can get
Yeah.
some
Where's Dad?
translation.
Where Panditji, Madan
Yeah,
Mohan?
sorry, yeah, they were barred because they didn't have enough, it wasn't properly presented, so they had to bring more.
Oh, I
So
see.
if you notice, did you read chapter 272, or is that where you stopped?
Yeah, I ended up at 273. I mean, they're about to. Yeah,
Okay. Well, you see there's a footnote there, which is worth bearing in mind. This chapter and the ones that follow are repetitive. Duryodhana has already related this to Shakuni. He now recounts it to Dhritarashtra. One gets a clear sense that these chapters were later interpolations and they lack continuity and coherence.
Okay.
Does that make it any clearer?
Yeah, it makes you understand why there might be so much repetition, or it seems a bit strange sometimes.
Okay, but what
Yeah.
does it mean? So basically, what it's saying is, even though they brought this and this and this, they couldn't get in. It's like
Yeah,
trying to get into Club 52 in New York. If you didn't
yeah,
know the, you couldn't get in, mate.
yeah. Wasn't properly presented.
Yeah, you're not cool enough.
Mm,
You haven't got the credentials, have you?
yeah.
Okay, so carry on there, young man.
Okay, 273. Duryodhana said, he's talking to, yeah. O unblemished one, listen to me as I describe the large and varied tribute, full of riches, given by the kings for the sake of the sacrifice. The kings who live along the banks of the river Shailoda between Mounts Meru and Mandara, and enjoy pleasurable shade of bamboo. The Kasas, Ekashanas, Joshas, Pradaras, Dirgavenus, Pashupas, Kunindas, Tanganas, and Pradatanganas brought large masses of Pipilika gold in vessels gathered by ants. Ants.
Oh, let me interrupt you there, because I don't know if you remember Karnai reading Herodotus. Herodotus reports how in India they get their gold from ants.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that's quite interesting, isn't it? Somehow or other, these ants have the gold, and you get it from the ants. Anyway, carry on.
The strong residents of the mountains brought as tribute dark and colored tails of yaks and others that were as white as moonbeams, a lot of sweet honey from the flowers of the Himalayas, garlands and water from the northern Kuru region, and immensely powerful herbs from northern Kailasha. They bowed and stood at the gate of King Ajatashatru, but were denied entry. O Lord of the earth! There were kings from the other side of the Himalayas, from the mountains where the sun rises, from the banks of Varishen and Lohitya, from the banks of the ocean, and Kiratas who live on roots and fruit and wear skins. They brought large masses of sandal and aloe wood, kalya, which is a specific type of sandalwood, skins, jewels, gold, fragrances, 10,000 Kirata slave girls, beautiful animals and birds from distant regions, and copious quantities of radiant gold from the mountains. But despite all this tribute, they were refused entry and waited at the gate. O Lord of the earth! Kayavyas, Daradas, Darvas, a lot of names here, Shuras, Vayamakas, Udumbaras, Durvibhakas, Paradas, Palikas, Kashmiras, Kundamanas, Paudakas, Hamsakayanas, Shibis, Trigatars, Yodhayas, the kings of Madra and Kekaya, Ambashtas, Kokuras, Tarkshas, Astrapas, Pahlavas, Vasatas. Footnote, Pallavas are identified as Persians. Well, Vasatas, Maulias, Shudrakas, Malavas, Shundikas, Kukuras, Shakas, Angas, Vangas, Pundras, Shanavachas, Gayas, Sujatayas, Shrenimanas, all illustrious Kshatriyas with weapons in their hands, brought hundreds of tribute for Ajatashatru, the chiefs from Vanga and Kalinga, from Tamralipta and Pundraka, brought garments and silk from the Koshiki. On the instructions of the king, the gatekeepers told them, "If you bring large and great tribute, only then will you be admitted." So they each gave 1,000 elephants with tusks like the shafts of plows, caparisoned in gold and covered in cushions with the color of lotuses. They were as large as mountains, always in rut, and came from the shores of Kamyaka Lake. They were covered in armor, patient and trained well. They then entered the gate. That's the kings. The kings then entered the gate. These and many other masses came from all directions. There were other great-souled ones who offered many gems. The Gandharva kin, Chitrarata, Vasava's friend, gave 400 horses with the speed of the wind. The Gandharva Tumburu happily gave 100 horses that had the color of mango leaves, with gold harnesses. O Kolovya, O Kolavya, O Lord of the earth, the famous king of the Shukaras gave many hundreds of valuable elephants as tribute. Virata from Matsya gave 2,000 rutting elephants, caparisoned in gold. O king, King Vasudana from the kingdom of Pamshu gave 26 elephants and 1,000 horses, all harnessed in gold. O Lord of men, they had great speed and strength and were of the right age. He offered this and many other riches to Pandava. O Lord of the earth, Yagnasen gave Prita's sons 14,000 servant girls, 10,000 male servants with their wives, and 26 chariots pulled by elephants. He offered his entire kingdom for the sacrifice. The Simhalas offered the best jewels found in the ocean, lapis lazuli, pearls and conch shells, and hundreds of covers for housing elephants. Many dark-complexioned men, eyes copper red, and attired in garments adorned with gems, brought tribute and waited at the gate, having been refused entry. Brahmanas brought gifts out of affection, Kshatriyas because they had been defeated, and Vaishyas and Shudras out of servitude. Out of affection and respect, they waited on Yudhishthira, all the Mlechas and all the Varnas, the superior, the middle, and the inferior, arriving from many countries and many races. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, in Yudhishthira's abode, I saw the kings make such large and great offerings to my enemy that I wished to die from grief. Now, let me tell you about the servants of the Pandavas, to whom Yudhishthir supplies both raw and cooked food. There are 300,000 soldiers mounted on elephants. There are 100 million chariots and innumerable foot soldiers. The raw food is measured out in one place, cooked elsewhere, and distributed at another place. Auspicious sounds are heard. Among all the Varnas, I have not seen a single one in Yudhishthir's abode who has not obtained food, is unhappy, and has not been rewarded well. 88,000 Snatakas live a householder's life, each supported by 30 servant girls provided by Yudhishthir. They are happy and satisfied and always pray for the destruction of his enemies. In Yudhishthir's abode, 10,000 ascetics who have controlled their seed eat from golden plates. O Lord of the earth, Yagnaseni does not eat until she has seen to it that everyone has eaten and is full, even hunchbacks and dwarfs. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, there are only two who have not paid tribute to Kunti's son, the Panchalas because of the marriage alliance, and the Antakas and the Vrishnis because of friendship. 274. Duryodhan said, the Arya kings are devoted to truth and great in their vows, complete in their knowledge, eloquent and immersed in Vedanta, forbearing, modest, famous, and with Dharma in their hearts. Those kings who have been anointed wait on him. On Yudhishthir, there I saw many thousands of wild cows that had been brought by the kings as dakshina, with brass pots for milking. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, as a mark of respect and of their own volition, the kings brought supreme vessels for the consecration there. Palika brought the chariot that was inlaid with gold. Sudakshina yoked it with white horses from Cambodge. In affection, the immensely strong Sunita, that's Shishupal, fixed the axle. Willingly, the king of Chedi, that's Shishupal again, isn't it, himself fixed the flagstaff. The king from the south had the armor ready, Magadha, the garland and the headdress. Magadha is Sahadev. Sorry if you hear barking, it's just stupid neighbors' dogs. The great archer Vasudana held the king of elephants, 60 years old. Matsya fixed the sides, Ekalavya held the footwear. Avanti had the many kinds of water required for the final bath. Chekitana gave the quiver, the king of Kashi the bow, and Shalya the sword, with a golden hilt and with straps inlaid with gold. Dhaumya and the immensely ascetic Vyasa performed the anointing after having placed Narad and the sages Devala Asita at the forefront. The Maharishis attended the Abhishek with pleasure, just as the Saptarshis approached the great Indra, lord of the gods in heaven, with Jamadagni's son. The great souled ones, learned in the Vedas and the mantras, came with large quantities of gifts. Satyaki, with truth as his valor, held up the umbrella. Dhananjaya and Bhima fanned Pandava. That's Yudhishthir. Varuna's conch shell had been constructed by Vishvakarma in ancient times with 1,000 pieces of gold and had been given by Prajapati to Indra in that ancient era. The ocean now brought it for him, as Yudhishthir, and Krishna anointed him with that. At this I felt benumbed. They went to the western, eastern, and southern oceans, O Father, but they did not go to the north, which is for the birds. To make it auspicious, hundreds of conch shells were blown, and when they were blown together, my hair stood up at the roar. Kings were deprived of their own energy and fell prostrate on the ground. But Dristadumna, the Pandavas, Satyaki, and Krishna, as the 8th, were valorous and kindly disposed towards each other. This means these 8 didn't become unconscious at the blowing of these conches. They maintained themselves, and on seeing me and the kings unconscious on the ground, laughed at us. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, then, delightedly, Vibatsu gave the principal Brahmanas 500 bullocks, their horns plated with gold. Like Lord Harishchandra, Kaunteya accomplished the Rajasuya, and his prosperity was supreme. Shambhara's slayer, there's quite a large footnote for that. So Shambhaya's slayer, Yuvanashva, Manu, King Prithu, and Bhagirat couldn't rival this. O Lord, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, having witnessed Partha's prosperity like that of Harishchandra, how should I see any good in remaining alive? O Lord of men, a yoke attached by a blind man becomes loose. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, the younger ones are prospering while the older ones are decaying. That's in reference to the Pandavas and the Kauravas. O supreme among the Kurus, having witnessed all this, I find no refuge. Whichever way I look, that is the reason I am becoming thin. That is the reason I am pale and miserable. 275. Dhritarashtra said, O son, you are the eldest and the son of my eldest wife. Do not bear hatred towards the Pandavas. He who bears hatred is always unhappy, as in death. O bull among the Bharata lineage, Yudhisthira is inexperienced. He is your equal in goals and in friends. He does not hate you. Why do you hate him? O king, O son, you are his equal in birth and valor. Why do you covet your brother's riches? Do not desire out of delusion. Be calm and virtuous. O bull among the Bharata lineage, if you wish to accomplish the glory of a sacrifice, let the priests arrange for the great sacrifice known as Saktatantu. The kings will bring you great riches, gems, and ornaments from affection and respect. O son, the terrible act of desiring another's property brings misery. He who is satisfied with his own remains anchored in his own dharma and is happy. The signs of wealth are lack of concern for another's prosperity, constant perseverance in one's own tasks, and the protection of what one has obtained. The man who is unmoved in calamities, always skilled and engaged in his own, excuse me, let me read that. The man who is unmoved in calamities and always skilled and engaged in his own, vigilant and humble, will always witness good fortune. O bull among the Bharata lineage, give at sacrifices, enjoy the pleasures you desire, sport in the company of women, and be at peace. Duryodhana replied, You know, but you confuse me, like a boat tied to another boat. Are you not attentive to your own interests? Do you have hostile feelings towards me? Dhritarashtra's sons follow your command, and I don't rule them. You always say that everything must be done for the sake of the future. If the leader has lost the path because he has been deluded by the enemy, how can his followers follow that path? O king, you are old in your wisdom. You follow the elders, and you have control over your senses. You should not confuse us when we are engaged in our own tasks. Brihaspati has said that the royal path must be different from that followed by the world's. Therefore, the king must always be vigilant in protecting his own self-interest. O great king, a Kshatriya's path is one devoted to victory. O bull among the Bharata lineage, as long as one follows one's creed, dharma and lack of dharma are irrelevant. O bull among the Bharata lineage, A charioteer uses his whip to drive out in all the directions, wishing to attack the blazing fortunes of his enemy. Those who are skilled in weapons say that the weapon isn't only the one that cuts. A weapon is that which vanquishes the enemy, be it open or hidden. O king, discontent is the root of prosperity. That is the reason I wish to be discontented. The Supreme One is one who strives for prosperity. In attaining prosperity and riches, shouldn't self-interest be our way? Others take away what has been obtained before. That is known as the Dharma of kings. It was during a period of the truce that Shakra cut off Namuchi's head. Namuchi was a demon killed by Indra, because he knew that enmity towards a foe is eternal. Like a snake swallows rats, the earth swallows up too, the king who does not strive and the Brahmin who does not live at home. O Lord of the earth, no one is by nature another man's enemy. The enemy is that one whose pursuits are the same as one's own and not anyone else. He who stupidly watches the ascendance of the enemy's party leaves a disease unattended and cuts off his own roots. An enemy may be insignificant, but if he is allowed to grow in valor, he will destroy one, the way an anthill destroys the roots of a tree it has grown on. O Ajamhita, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, do not be pleased at the enemy's prosperity. The wise ones should not bear the burden of this policy on their heads. A person who wishes for an increase in his prosperity, the way he has himself grown since birth, grows and prospers with his relatives. Valor brings swift growth. As long as I do not obtain the wealth of the Pandavas, I will always be in doubt. I will either obtain those riches or lay down my life in the field of battle. O Lord of the earth, if I cannot equal him, Yudhishthira, what is the point of being alive today? The Pandavas are always prospering, and we are stagnating. 276. Shakuni said, challenge the enemy to a game of dice. I will rob Pandu's son Yudhishthira of the prosperity that you have seen, which has been burning you. Be clear that I will not fight in the front of armies. Through the throw of dice, a skillful one can vanquish one that is not skillful. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, know that the bow and arrows are my dice. The heart of the dice is the string of my bow. Know that the carpet is my chariot. Duryodhana said, O king, this one who is skilled in dice is ready to win over the prosperity of Pandu's son with dice. O father, you should find that pleasing. Dhritarashtra replied, I always listen to the counsel of my brother, the great-souled Vidura. I will decide on the course of action after meeting with him. Duryodhana said, O Kaurava, there is no doubt that Vidura will make you refrain from the resolution. He is engaged in the welfare of the Pandavas and not mine. O descendant of the Kuru lineage, no man should engage in his task with another's counsel, because two minds seldom agree on a course of action. Like a straw mat during the rainy season, a fool that abhors fear stands and destroys himself. Neither disease nor yama wait for prosperity to come. Therefore, let us act for the good while there is time. Dhritarashtra replied, O son, I never like a fight with those who are stronger. Enmity creates distortion, and that itself is a weapon, though it is not made of iron. O prince, you think that disaster will bring welfare, this terrible collection of quarrels. Once it starts, in one way or another, it will release bows, swords, and arrows. Duryodhana said, "The ancient ones created the rules of dice. It leads to neither evil nor blows. Today, you should approve of Shakuni's words. Let your instructions be issued for the swift construction of a sabha. Because the doors of heaven will become closer, it is appropriate for us to be engaged in this. Approve of this act with the Pandavas, and we will then stand equal to them." Dhritarashtra replied, "O Indra among men, I do not like the words that you utter, but do what brings you pleasure. Later, you will remember your words and suffer, because such words cannot bring prosperity to those who abide by Dharma. A long time in the past, Vidura, who follows wisdom and learning, had foretold all this. The great calamity that will destroy the seed of the Kshatriyas has now arrived, and we are powerless." Vaishampayana said, "Having uttered these words, the wise Dhritarashtra decided that destiny alone was supreme. Fate robbed the king of his senses, and he instructed his men to obey his son's words. Carefully build 1,000 pillars adorned with gold and lapis lazuli. Let there be 100 gates with arches made of crystal. Let the beautiful sabha be swiftly built, 1 krosha long and 1 krosha wide." On hearing these words, without hesitation, thousands of wise and skilled artisans swiftly built the sabha and stocked it with every kind of object. Then, in a short space of time, they informed the king that the beautiful assembly hall was ready, and that it had been adorned with multicolored gems and beautiful golden seats. Then Dhritarashtra, lord of men, spoke to the learned Vidura, foremost among his advisers. "Go to Prince Yudhishthir and swiftly bring him here at my command. Say that he and his brothers should come here and see this beautiful sabha that I have built with many gems and decorated with expensive beds and seats. We will then have a game of dice among well-wishers." Knowing his son's mind and that fate could not be avoided, King Dhritarashtra, lord of men, acted thus. Vidura, supreme among learned ones, did not approve of his brother's words and thought them to be unjust. He spoke to him. "O king, I do not approve of this errand. Do not do this. I fear for the destruction of our lineage. O Indra among men, when the sons are disunited, a quarrel is certain, and I am concerned about this game of dice." Dhritarashtra replied, "O Kshatta, unless destiny turns adverse, I am not worried about a quarrel. The universe is under the control of the Creator. The entire world does not run independently. O Vidura, therefore, today go to the king at my command and quickly bring Kunti's invincible son, Yudhishthir, here."
Hari bol.
Yeah,
That's all right. Do you want to let Karnai carry on for a bit because Brudge is not quite ready?
Okay, yeah, definitely. You're doing well. It's fantastic. Yeah, carry on.
All right, so there we have it. 277. One out of the water.
So we basically had a whole, like you said, we had a repetition. We had a whole thing repeated twice.
We had a bit of repetition, and then this conversation with Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra, and then Shakuni.
Dhritarashtra's incredible character, isn't he?
Yeah.
He fluctuates. He's the perfect character for a soap opera, isn't he? The head of a dynasty who just fluctuates. 1 minute he knows what to do, and the next minute he's going yes, and then he's going well. It's all destiny anyway.
Well, maybe he's like that because he just seems so bit powerless. What can
Yeah,
he do?
exactly. But that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Because he's not a guy with gumption. He's a bit kind of. That's the whole thing. He lacks it, and
He's
and
like one. He just can't control his partiality in affection towards his own sons. He knows everything that he's doing is wrong, and his excuse often is, well, it's destiny, what can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that is true. I think many people, a lot of us feel the same way. Because it's just like, should I go on the big protest march and wave things? Is it going to change anything? No, I'll just stay at home and listen to Ravi Shankar and get into a groovy state of mind and think good vibes is better than waving placards.
I don't agree with Debroy that these are interpolations, because although it's repetition, it's slightly different, and
Yeah, it is.
And doing repetition like that is a device of epic poetry.
Maybe, yeah, it was. I was tiring a little bit hearing it repeated.
But
I
it's
can't,
meant to be a bit kind of
yeah,
tiring. It's an exhaustive list and catalogue of all his
yeah,
his mental problems are.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's just mind blowing anyway.
Yeah. He's and the whole thing is just Duryodhana. He's just admitting, he's actually quite honest. I'm a fucking envious bastard. I can't stand the guys. They've rubbed their good fortune in my face and I can't fucking stand it. And I'm just going to get revenge. Where I don't even mind dying. My hatred is so big. I'm just going to do everything to fuck them.
Okay, don't forget, Matura, you are recording.
I know, but anyway,
Anyway,
God, let's keep it real. Come on, let's keep it real.
It doesn't bother me, but I just want to remind you.
I know. Well, I can't make them. I'm just
Doesn't
anyway.
bother
So please carry on.
Turn a bit more, and then Roger will take over.
Yeah.
So we're on 209 now.
Yes.
Yeah.
277. Vaishampayana said, on King Dhritarashtra's forceful command, Vidura started off towards the wise Pandavas on horses that were noble and strong, trained well and possessing great speed. He proceeded swiftly and came to the king's city, and after being worshipped by the Brahmanas, the immensely intelligent one entered. The palace was like Kubera's abode, and the one with Dharma in his heart went to Dharmaputra Yudhishthir. Ajatashatru, the great-souled king, who was always devoted to truth, welcomed Vidura with due homage and worship, and then asked about the welfare of Dhritarashtra and his sons. Yudhishthir asked, O Kshatta, I do not see your mind to be happy. I hope everything is well. Are the sons obedient to their elders? Are the commoners obedient to his rule? Vidura replied, the great-souled king is well with his sons. Surrounded by his kin, he rules like Indra. O king, surrounded by his sons who are obedient, he is content. He is without worries, and is firm in the desires of his own heart. The king of the Kurus has first asked me to inquire about your health and welfare, and then say, I have built a sabha that matches yours. O son, please come with your brothers and see it. O Partha, assemble there with your brother and have a game of dice with your well-wishers. We will be delighted at your arrival, and so will all the Kurus who are assembled there. The great-souled King Dhritarashtra has assembled gamblers there. You will see the rogues assembled there. I have come here for this, O king. Agree. Yudhishthira said, O Kshatta, gambling can produce quarrels. Knowing this, which intelligent one will consent to gambling? What do you think is the right course of action for us? We are always obedient to your words. Vidura replied, I know that gambling is the root of all misery. I made every effort to restrain him. However, the king has sent me to you. O wise one, knowing this, do what is best. Yudhishthira asked, other than the sons of King Dhritarashtra, who are the other rogues who are there to play? O Vidura, I am asking you. Tell me, who are the hundreds with whom one will have to play. Vidura replied, O Lord of the earth, there is Shakuni, king of Gandhar. That king is eager to play, has a skilled hand, and knows the nature of the dice. There are Vivimshati, King Chitrasen, Satyavrata, Purimitra, and Jaya. Yudhishthira said, It seems that some of the most feared rogues have assembled there. They are sure to play with the powers of Maya. However, everything is under the control of the Creator. I will not refuse to play with those rogues. O Vidura, I do not wish to go and gamble on King Dhritarashtra's command. A father always has a son's welfare in mind. Therefore, tell me what I should do. I have no desire to gamble with Shakuni, but if the confident one challenges me in a sabha, I will never refuse, because that has been my eternal vow. See, he knows King Dhritarashtra's partial to his sons, if you got that. Vaishampayana said, Having thus spoken to Vidura, Dharmaraj instructed that all the arrangements for the journey should quickly be made. Next day, he set out with his army and his attendants, and with the honored Draupadi and other women of the household. Destiny robs us of reason, like a glare falling before the eye. As if tied in a noose, man follows the will of the Creator. Uttering these words, King Yudhishthira set out with Kshatta. Partha, the destroyer of enemies, could not ignore the summons. He ascended the chariot given by Balika. Partha Pandava, the destroyer of enemies, dressed in royal garments, left with his brothers. Brahmanas walked ahead of him, and his regal prosperity blazed. He was summoned by Dhritarashtra in accordance with what has been decreed by destiny. Arriving in Hastinapur, he went to Dhritarashtra's palace. Pandava, the one with Dharma in his heart, met Dhritarashtra, Androna, Bhishma, Karna, and Kripa. As is proper, the Lord also met Drona's son, Ashvatthama. The mighty armed one then met Somadatta, Duryodhan, Shalya, the various Sobala, and all the other kings who had assembled there before him, and Jayadratha, and all the other Kurus. Surrounded by his brothers, the mighty armed one then entered the abode of the immensely wise King Dhritarashtra, and met there Queen Gandhari, who was always devoted to her husband. She was surrounded by her daughters-in-law, like Rohini by the stars. After showing homage to Gandhari and being welcomed by her in return, he saw his aged father, Dhritarashtra, the wise lord whose eyesight was his knowledge. What does this mean? Because he was blind. O king, the king inhaled the fragrances of the heads of the descendants of the Kuru lineage and of the 4 Pandavas, led by Bhimasen. O Lord of the earth, on seeing the handsome Pandavas, tigers among men, all the Kauravas were extremely delighted. Taking their leave, the Pandavas entered their houses full of jewels. The women came to see them, Draupadi at their forefront. On witnessing Yagnasen's blazing prosperity, Dhritarashtra's daughters-in-law were not enthused. Yagnasen is Draupadi's name. After having conversed with the women, the tigers among men went out. They performed physical exercises and the due rituals. After the daily rituals were over, they covered themselves all over with divine sandalwood. When their minds were pure, the Brahmanas pronounced benedictions on them. Having eaten the best of food, they retired to their sleeping quarters. Women sung to them, and the descendants of the Kurus went to sleep. they spent the pleasant night in sexual pursuits. After resting for some time, they discarded their sleep to the sound of praises of bards. Having happily slept during the night, they performed all the daily rites in the morning and entered the beautiful Sabha, crowded by rogues.
Wow. That's the life, isn't it? Right. You just right. It comes with the price, though, doesn't it? Okay, that's the whole thing. You get all this and everything, and the women and the thing, but then, da 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 da. Everything.
Oh,
Yes. Please.
278.
Nice,
278.
nice to see your face.
Yeah, hi, Raj.
Okay, Haribo. Shakuni said, O king, the carpet has been spread out in the Sabha, and these people have found the time. O Yudhishthira, the time for gambling and fixing the nature of the dice has come. Yudhishthira replied, O king, dishonest gambling is evil. There is no kshatriya valor in that, nor is there any good policy in it. Why do you then praise playing with the dice? O Shakuni, the learned do not praise deceitful gambling. Like a cruel person, do not defeat us through a crooked path. Shakuni said, He who knows the numbers and is knowledgeable about deceptions, is tireless in the art of gambling and is extremely intelligent in gambling, is the one who knows all the techniques. Through handling the dice, one can defeat the enemy. Blaming destiny is pointless. O king, let us gamble and have no anxiety. Let us immediately decide on the stakes and not tarry. Yudhishthira replied, Asita Devala are supreme among sages and always frequent the doors of the world. They have said that it is a sin to play with deceitful gamblers. It is best to win a battle through dharma, in which case gambling is sanctioned. Aryas do not use mlecha language, nor use deceit in behavior. Men who are truthful in their vows do not use trickery in a battle. We have always sought to protect deserving brahmanas with our strengths. O Shakuni, do not play beyond those limits and do not win in excess. I do not desire happiness and riches through deceit. But even if a gambler plays without deceit, gambling is never praised. Shakuni said, O Yudhishthir, the learned triumph over non-learned only through trickery. That is how the wise triumph over the stupid, but people don't call it trickery. In approaching me for the game, if you think that I will resort to trickery, if that is your fear, then refrain from the game. Yudhishthira replied, O king, once challenged, I will not withdraw. That is a vow I have taken. Fate is the powerful one, and we are in the power of destiny. Who in this assembly will I play with? What is the counter stake? Let the gambling begin. Duryodhana said, O Lord of the earth, I will stake all my jewels and my riches. My maternal uncle Shakuni will gamble on my behalf. Yudhishthira replied, To me, it seems unfair that one man should gamble in another's place. O learned one, you know this. However, if that is what you want, so be it. Vaishampayana said, When arrangements had been made for the gambling, all the kings, with Dhritarashtra at the forefront, entered the Sabha. Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, the immensely intelligent Vidura. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, others also followed, not at all pleased in their minds. Those immensely energetic ones, with necks like those of lions, sat separately and together on many colorful seats. O king, with the assembled kings that Sabha was radiant, like resplendent heaven when the gods have assembled. O great king, they were all brave warriors, learned in the Vedas, and their forms were like that of the sun. Then the gambling between the well-wishers started. Yudhishthira said, O king, this is a beautiful chain of gems inlaid in supreme gold. It represents a lot of riches and has been procured from the whirl of the ocean. O king, this is my stake. What is your counter stake? Let it be placed in the proper order, and I will win this gamble. Duryodhana replied, I also possess many gems and riches, but they serve no particular end for me. I will win this gamble. Vishampayana said. Then Shakuni, who knew the heart of the dice, grasped the dice, and Shakuni told Yudhishthir, I have won. 279. Yudhishthir said, O Shakuni, you have won with this gamble from me by using deceit. Let us now grasp the dice and play 1,000 times. I have 100 laden jars, each filled with 1,000 gold coins. O king, that apart, my treasury has inexhaustible gold and much gold. Gold is mentioned twice, and two different words are used, Hiranya and Jatarupa. Since both words mean gold, the distinction between them isn't clear. However, since Hiranya also means a golden vessel, as distinct from gold, that might be the distinction. Alternatively, Hiranya also means silver or any other precious metal. And a footnote. Those are the riches I now stake to gamble with you. Vishampayana said, as soon as he had spoken, Shakuni told the king, I have won. Yudhishthir said, my royal chariot is covered with tiger skin and is worth 1,000. It is finely built, beautiful, makes a thunderous noise, and is adorned with nets of bells. It gladdens the heart, and brought us here. The sacred chariot, supreme among all chariots, roars like the clouds in the ocean. It is drawn by 8 horses that are famous throughout the kingdom. They are noble and have the color of ospreys. No one who walks the hearse can escape their hooves. O king, these are my riches that I now gamble with you for. Vishampayana said, having heard this, Shakuni used deceit and told Yudhishthira, I have won. Yudhishthir said, O Sobhala, I have 1,000 elephants that are in must. They have golden girdles and are hung with golden garlands. They are spotted. They are well trained with fine tusks and are capable of bearing kings. They can withstand every kind of noise in battle. They have giant tusks like shafts, and each bull has with it 8 she-elephants. All of these elephants have the shade of new clouds and are capable of battering down enemy cities. O king, these are my riches that I now gamble with you for. Vishampayana said, having heard these words, Sobala laughed at Partha. Shakuni told Yudhishthir, I have won. Yudhishthira said, I have 100,000 slave girls. They are young and extremely beautiful. They wear bracelets and armlets, necklaces of gold coins, and wear ornaments. They wear expensive garlands and ornaments, beautiful garments, and are anointed with sandalwood paste. They wear jewel and gold, and all of them are dressed in sheer garments. They are skilled in singing and dancing. On my instruction, they wait upon and serve the Snatakas, advisors, and kings. O king, these are my riches that I now gamble with you for. Vishampayana said, having heard these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthira, I have won. Yudhishthira said, I have thousands of male slaves. They are always dressed in fine garments and are skilled and ready to serve. They are wise, young, skilled, and intelligent, and wear polished earrings. With plates in their hands, they feed the guest day and night. O king, these are my riches that I now gamble with you for. Vishampayana said, having heard these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthira, I have won. Yudhishthira said, I have as many chariots. They have pennants and are equipped with golden vessels. There are also well-trained horses, charioteers, and wonderful warriors. Regardless of whether they fight or do not fight, each of them receives 1,000 as monthly salary. O king, these are my riches that I now gamble with you for. Vishampayana said, having heard these words of Partha, the evil one resorted to deceit. Shakuni told Yudhishthir, I have won. Yudhishthira said, I have Gandharva horses that are spotted and have the color of partridges. They have golden harnesses and were happily given by Chitraratha to Gandhivadhanva. O king, these are my riches that I now gamble with you for. Vaishampayana said, having heard this, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthir, I have won. Yudhishthir said, I have 10,000 chariots, carts, and horses. They are yoked to the best draught animals. I have thousands of soldiers from each Varna. They drink milk and feed on rice and grain. There are 60,000 of them, and all of them have broad chests. O king, these are my riches that I now gamble with you for. Vaishampayana said, on hearing these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthir, I have won. Yudhishthira said, I have 400 treasure chests made of copper and iron. Each of them has 5 receptacles filled with beaten gold. O king, these are my riches that I now gamble with you for. Vaishampayana said, on hearing these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthir, I have won. (280) Vidura said, O great king, listen to what I am going to tell you and learn. Even though a dying man finds no pleasure in medicine, in earlier times, when the evil-minded Duryodhana, the destroyer of the Bharata lineage, was born.
Hey? How have we suddenly gone to that? Did you miss a page?
I don't think so. 217, 218, no, that's it.
Go back to the beginning if you don't mind.
280, Vidura said, O great king, Vidura is addressing Dhritarashtra.
Right.
Listen to what I am going to tell you and learn, even though a dying man finds no pleasure in medicine. In earlier times, when the evil-minded Duryodhana, the destroyer of the Bharata lineage, was born, he cried out in the voice of a jackal. He is destined to cause our destruction. A jackal lives in your house in Duryodhana's form, and you do not know this. From me, listen to what Kavya said. Shukracharya. The collector of honey obtains the honey, but does not know about the fall. The collar of honey has climbed a tree and is liable to fall down. The collector of honey. Okay. Having climbed, he will later be immersed or fall down and perish. Like the collector of honey, he, Duryodhana, is drunk at the prospect of gambling with dice. He does not know of the fall consequent to the enmity with these Maharatas. O great king, you know the normal royal practice. The Andakas, Yadavas, and Bojas assembled and abandoned Kamsa. At their request, Krishna, the slayer of enemies, killed him, and all the relatives rejoiced for 100 years. On your instructions, let Savyasachi oppress Suyodhana. Duryodhana. Let the Kurus be happy through the oppression of the evil one. O king, purchase peacocks from this crow. Purchase tigers from this jackal. Purchase the Pandavas and do not sink into this ocean of grief. For the sake of a family, a man should be sacrificed. For the sake of a village, a family should be sacrificed. For the sake of a country, a village should be sacrificed. For the sake of the soul, the earth should be sacrificed. Thus spoke Kavya, the omniscient one, knowledgeable in all sentiments and terrible to all enemies, when he asked the great Asuras to abandon Jamba, the name of a demon killed by Indra. O king, it is said that there were forest-dwelling birds that vomited gold. A man took them to live in his house, but then killed them out of greed. O scorcher of enemies, he was blinded because of his temptation for gold. Because of his greed, he destroyed both what he had and what he could have had. O bull among the Bharatas, do not oppress the Pandavas because of your immediate desire. You will later rue your delusion, like the man who killed the birds. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, like a maker of garlands, take flowers affectionately from the Pandavas one by one as they flower. Like a maker of charcoal, do not burn down the roots of the tree. Do not go to your destruction with your sons, advisors, and troops. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, who is capable of fighting with the Parthas when they stand together? O king, not even the lord of the Maruts, together with the Maruts. 281. Vidura said, "Gambling is the root of all quarrels. Its consequence is dissension and great wars. Taking recourse to it, Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra's son, creates terrible enmity. Because of Duryodhana's crime, all the descendants of Pratipa and Shantanu, together with their terrible armies and with the descendant of the Bhalikas, will be destroyed. Like an angry bull that breaks its own horns forcibly, Duryodhana's stupidity will drive safety away from his own kingdom. O king, a brave and wise man who disregards his sagacity and follows another's mind is like one who goes to the sea in a boat guided by a child and is immersed in terrible affliction. Duryodhana is gambling with Pandava, and it pleases you because you think he is winning. But in this overdone deed is but in this overdone deed is created a war that would lead to the destruction of all men. This badly designed act will lead to a decline in fruits. In the hearts of the one who has resorted to counsel, there is great composure. Friendship with Yudhishthir will lead to good fruit. Through pacification, the one with the excellent bow will no longer exhibit enmity. O descendants of Patipa, O descendants of Shantanu, O kings, listen to Kavya's words and do not cross the limits. The terrible fire has blazed forth, extinguishing it before there is a war. Extinguish it before there is a war. If Pandava Ajatashatru is defeated in dice and his anger is not pacified by Vrikodhara, Savyasachi, and the twins, there will be no refuge in the terrible onslaught that will ensue. O great king, you are a source of great riches, as much as you desired, even before this game. Even if you win great riches from the Pandavas, what is the gain? Pritha's sons are the source of wealth. We all know Sobala's skills in the game. This one from the mountains knows techniques of deceit with dice. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, let Shakuni return whence he came. The one from the mountains fights with the powers of Maya. 282. Duryodhana said, O Kshata, you always take pride in praising the fame of our enemies and secretly deprecate Dhritarashtra's sons. O Vidura, we know whom you are friends to. You always look down upon us as if we are children. The man whose love is elsewhere is clearly revealed from the way he distributes censure and praise. Your tongue reveals your heart and mind, and that your mind is antagonistic. We embraced you like a serpent. Like a cat, you injure the one with whom you are sustained. It is said there is no sin worse than killing one's protector. O Kshata, how is it that you don't fear sin? Having vanquished our enemies, we have obtained great fruits. O Kshata, do not use harsh words against us. You always praise friendship with those who hate us, and that is the reason you harbor hatred towards us. A man becomes an enemy by uttering unpardonable words. He secretly hides the praise of the enemies. How does shame not stop you? You are now speaking whatever you desire. We know your mind and do not disregard us. Learn from proximity with those who are wise and old. O Vidura, protect the fame you have earned so far. Do not concern yourself with the affairs of others. O Vidura, do not deprecate us by mentioning your deeds. Do not always use such harsh words against us. O Vidura, I never ask you what you think. O Kshata, desist, because our patience is wearing down. There is one controller, and there is no second controller. That controller controls when a man is asleep in the womb. Through his control, like water flowing downwards, I flow in the direction appointed by him. He who uses his head to break a stone and he who feeds a serpent are controlled in those deeds by his instructions. He who wishes to control another by force only finds an enemy. A learned one looks to those who act in friendship. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, if one lights a blazing fire and does not escape from it, even the remnants of ashes will not be found anywhere. O Kshata, one should not give shelter to someone who hates and is from enemy's party, especially if that man bears ill will. O Vidura, therefore go wherever you wish, however well treated, an unchaste wife will always leave. Vidura replied, O king, he who gives to a man in this fashion, for him all friendship comes to an end. The minds of kings are always unsteady. After granting protection, they slay with clubs. O son of a king, you do not think yourself to be a child. O evil-minded one, you consider me to be a child. One who has first accepted a man as a well-wisher and then reviles him is the one who is a child. One with an evil mind never does that which brings welfare, like a corrupt woman in the house of a learned Brahmana. That which is certain does not please this bull among the Bharatas, like a 60-year-old husband to a young woman. O king, if you only wish to hear words that please you in all deeds, regardless of good or bad, ask the women, the dull and the crippled. Go ask those who are likewise stupid, O descendant of the Pratipa lineage. It is certainly easy to find a man who says things that please you. It is rare to find those who render unpleasant and right advice. He who sticks to the path of Dharma and offers advice to his Lord, regardless of whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, however unpleasant, is a true aid to the king. O great king, drink that which is healthy, bitter, pungent, hot, harsh, foul-smelling, and revolting. This is what the good always drink and the evil refuse. Drink it and regain your calm. I always wish fame and prosperity to Vichitravirya's sons and their sons. Whatever you may be, I pay you my respects. May the Brahmanas utter benedictions over me. O descendants of the Kuru lineage, I will carefully tell you this. Learned ones should never anger serpents that have venom in their eyes. 283. Shakuni said, O Yudhishthir, you have lost great riches to the Pandavas. Of the Pandavas. O Konteya, do you have any other riches that you have not lost yet? Yudhishthira replied, O Shakuni, O Sobala, I know of unlimited riches that I possess. Why do you ask me about my wealth? I can stake Ayuta, Prayuta, Karva, Padma, Arbuda, Shamka, Nikarva, and an entire ocean. Those are numbers: 10,000, a million, 10 billion, 1,000 billion, 100 million, 100 billion. Vishampayana said, at these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthir, I have won. O king, these are my riches that I will play with you for. Vishampayana said, at these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthir, I have won. Yudhishthir replied, O Sobala, I have many cattle, horses, milk cows, sheep and goats of many species to the east of the Sindhu. O king, these are my riches that I will play with you for. Vishampayana said, at these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthira, I have won. Yudhishthira replied, O king, the riches that I have left are my city, the country, the land of all the non-Brahmanas and the non-Brahmana subjects. O king, these are my riches that I will play with you for. Vishampayana said, at these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthira, I have won. Yudhishthira replied, O king, these princes are resplendent in their ornaments, their earrings, decoration of their breast, and the other bodily decorations. O king, these are my riches that I will play with you for. Vishampayana said, at these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthira, I have won. Yudhishthira replied, this dark youth with the red eyes is Nakula, with long arms and the shoulders of a lion. He and everything that he possesses will be one stake. Shakuni said, O king Yudhishthira, but Prince Nakula is dear to you. If he becomes part of our riches, what will you have left to gamble with? Vishampayana said, having said this, Shakuni then flung the dice and told Yudhishthira, I have won. Yudhishthira replied, "This Sahadeva is the one who administers dharma. He is known in the world as the learned one. Zeus's beloved prince does not deserve it. I will play with him with one who is not loved." Vaishampayana said, at these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthira, "I have won." Shakuni said, "O king, I have now won Madri's 2 sons, dear to you, but I think you regard Bhimsen and Dhananjaya as dearer." Yudhishthira replied, "O foolish one, without regard to what is proper, you are following that which is not dharma. You are trying to create dissension among those who are one of the heart, are one of heart." Shakuni said, "O king, O bull among the Bharata lineage, one who is intoxicated falls into a hole and remains there, like the trunk of a tree. You are our elder and our superior. I bow down before you. O Yudhishthir, when gamblers play, they utter mad ravings about what they have not seen, whether asleep or awake." Yudhishthira replied, "Like a boat, he carries us over to the other bank of battle. He is a powerful prince who defeats his enemies. The world knows that this warrior does not deserve it. O Shakuni, I will play with you for Falguna." Arjuna. Vaishampayana said, at these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthira, "I have won." Shakuni said, "Pandava Savyasachi, the foremost archer among the Pandavas, has been won and has become mine. O king, now play with your beloved Bhima. That is all you now have left to throw." Yudhishthira replied, "He is our leader and guide in battle. He is like the wielder of the Vajra, the enemy of the demons. He is great of soul, with slanted eyes and knitted brows. His shoulders are like those of a lion, and his anger is long lasting. There is no other man with strength like his. He is the slayer of enemies and foremost among those who wield the club. O king, though this prince does not deserve it, I will play with you for Bhimsen." Vaishampayana said, at these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthira, "I have won." Shakuni said, "O Kanteya, you have lost a great deal of riches. You have lost your brothers, your horses, and your elephants. Tell us if there are any riches that you have not yet lost." Yudhishthira replied, "I myself am left, especially loved by all my brothers. If won over until the time of destruction, I will do whatever deed I am asked to do." Vaishampayana said, at these words, Shakuni resorted to deceit and told Yudhishthir, "I have won." Shakuni said, "O king, you have allowed yourself to be won, and you have committed the worst evil act. When there are riches left, it is evil to allow oneself to be won." Vaishampayana said, "Thus spoke the one who was skilled in gambling with the dice. He had won in the game one by one the brave warriors of the world." Shakuni said, "But you have your beloved queen who has still not been won in the game. Use Krishna Panchali as a stake, and using her, win back yourself." Yudhishthira replied, "She is neither too short nor too tall. She is neither too dark nor too red. Her eyes are red with love, and I will play with you for her. Her eyes are like the petals of lotuses in the autumn. Her fragrance is like that of lotuses in the autumn. Her beauty serves that of lotuses in the autumn. Her beauty is like that of Shri herself. Such is her lack of cruelty, her wealth of beauty, and the goodness of her conduct, that every man desires her for a wife. She retires to bed last, and she is the first one to wake up. She looks after the cowards and the shepherds. She knows everything about what should be done and what should not be done. When covered with sweat, her face looks like a lotus or a jasmine. Her waist is shaped like an altar. Her hair is long. Her eyes are copper red. She does not have too much of body hair. O king, O Sobhala, I will make the beautiful Draupadi of Panchala slender of waist my stake. Let us play." Vaishampayana said, when the intelligent Dharmaraj uttered these words, all the elders assembled in the Sabha raised words of shame. O king! The Sabhas seemed to shake, and the kings talked among themselves. Bhishma, Drona, Kripa, and the others broke out in sweat. Vidura buried his head in his hands and sat with a downcast face, sinking and sighing like a serpent, like one who has lost his senses. But Dhritarashtra was delighted, and failing to control his emotions, repeatedly kept asking, "Has he won? Has the stake been won? Has the stake been won?" Karna, Dushashana, and their allies were happy, but tears began to flow down the eyes of others who were in the assembly hall. However, Sobala was insolent with success and proud of victory. He instantly flung the dice and said, "I have won." Should I keep going, or do you want to?
Where's Madan?
I'm
He's
back.
here.
Yeah, let's stop there now. It's
Yeah.
9, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's a good cliffhanger, yeah, and we'll probably talk now a bit about that. But wow. It's
Wow.
it's so depressing.
I know.
I need some bit of.
I find it very hard to hear, and it was like, oh no, Yudhisthira said letting the side down. It was
But why is Yudhisthira compelled to keep gambling away? That's my question.
yeah,
Come on, Panditji.
yeah. Come on, give us a
Yeah, Pandit
come on.
does.
That's just one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what they all say to him afterwards. Why did you do that? Why did you
All
do
right.
that?
He said that his vow that if he's challenged, he cannot